Hey Exiles, welcome back to Jay's Game First. Today, I'm diving into Path of Exile 2 Early Access. Now, here's a fun fact. I never played the first Path of Exile. So, if you're like me and starting fresh, you're in the right place. After spending about 5 hours in the game, I've discovered some crucial tips that will help you get the most out of this epic adventure. Whether you're here to learn your basics or polish your strategies, I've got you covered. By the way, if you're looking for awesome gaming gear, check out my shop linked in the description. Your support helps keep the channel running. Girl, you're pulling my beard. Let's jump right into by connecting the sequel to the roots of Path of Exile 1. Let's talk about how Path of Exile 2 ties into the first game. If you played the original, you'll remember the dark, challenging world of War Class, where you were in exile battling through chaos and corruption. The story culminated in the defeat of Kadava, the god of corruption. Path of Exile 2 is set 20 years later. While Kadava may be gone, War Class is far from peaceful. Rival factions have emerged, new threats loom, and the land is once again in turmoil. The great thing is that you don't have to have played the first game to enjoy this one, but knowing this backdrop makes the world feel much richer and the stakes much higher. Now, we've got that context out the way, let's jump right into the tips, starting one of the most exciting changes, the revamped skill gem system. One of the first things you'll notice in Path of Exile 2 is the completely redesigned skill gem system. In the original, managing sockets and links were a big part of the game. Here, it's simplified. Support gems are embedded directly into active skill gems. This makes experimenting with builds much easier and opens up a ton of creativity possibilities. Take Lightning Arrow for example. As I leveled it up, I unlocked supports like increased attack speed and area damage directly into the gem. It's seamless and intuitive. Plus, you can swap out supports anytime to adapt to a specific fight, whether it's clearing out mobs or tackling tough bosses. Here's an advice for beginners. Try different combinations. Even if a skill doesn't seem optimal at first, leveling it up and adding the right supports can completely change its potential. Speaking of potential, let's talk about your gear and how to maximize its power. After figuring out the skill gem system, I realized that gear plays on an equally important role. Path of Exile 2 emphasizes the importance of item bases over socket ones. This means you want to focus on stats and crafting potential of items, not just their rarity. For example, I picked up a plain white chest piece with high base armor, but after using a few crafting orbs, it turned into a defensive powerhouse that carried me through several tough fights. Look for items with solid base stats, they're worth investing. Also, keep an eye out for vendor recipes. Combining certain items can create powerful crafted gear. For example, selling a weapon, an eternal ring, and a crafting orb can give you an eternal enhanced weapon. These tricks can give you a huge advantage early on. But of course, the type of gear you need depends on your class and build, which brings us to the next tip. Path of Exile 2 brings an exciting variety of classes, each with unique mechanics. Even as a new player, I found it easy to dive in and experiment. Started with the Ranger, focused on ranged attacks and high mobility. The early game felt smooth and engaging as I used skills like Lightning Arrow to clear groups of enemies quickly. Then I tried the Druid, and shape-shifting into a bear mid-fight gave me a completely different playstyle, perfect for tanking and dealing heavy melee damage. Each class feels distinct and rewarding, so there's something for everyone. Don't lock yourself into one class or build too soon. Early access is the perfect time to explore and find what suits your playstyle. But no matter what, building survivability is crucial, which leads us to our next tip. Path of Exile 2 doesn't pull any punches. Boss fights are challenging, and mobs can overwhelm you if you're not prepared. Focusing solely on damage won't get you very far either. Start by gapping your elemental resistances, fire, cold, and lightning. Then look for gear that boasts armor or evasion based on your build. Life flasks and defensive utility flasks like granite and jade are also essential. During one boss fight, I was getting wrecked because my resistances were too low. After upgrading my gear and equipping a grenade flask, I survived hits I couldn't before. It's these small adjustments that make a huge difference. Speaking of adjustments, exploring the campaign thoroughly can give you the resources and skills you need to stay ahead. Which brings us to the final tip. The campaign in Path of Exile 2 is packed with opportunities to strengthen your character. Side quests, optional zones, and hidden rewards are essential for maximizing your potential. In one of my runs, completing a side quest rewarded me with a skill point. Just one, but it made all the difference. I also found unique crafting items in optional areas that boosted my gear beyond what I thought was possible. The new campaign feels smoother and more rewarding compared to other games in the genre. It's the perfect blend of storytelling and progression. So, take your time, explore every corner, and reap the rewards. They're worth it. And that's it, Exiles. My top 5 tips for Path of Exile 2 Early Access. If you're new like me, I hope these insights help you thrive in War Class. If you want to support the channel, check out my shop for awesome gaming merch. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Jay's Gamers, and ring that bell for notifications. What's your favorite Path of Exile 2 feature? Let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, happy looting.